Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rahat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. Mercury is finally moving out of its debilitation. It has been making a long transit in the sign of Pisces and now Mercury is going to enter the sign of Aries, which is the first house of the Kalpurusha Kundli. Let's try and understand how this transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you must read this transit from your ascendant sign. At the mental level, you can read this from your moon sign. Mercury's transit is only going to be for 16 days. It's a very fast-paced transit. Mercury naturally is a quick graha. It likes to have quick wins in your life, and this is a kind message for you. Let us begin with Aries Ascendance. For Aries Ascendance, Mercury becomes your third lord and the sixth lord. So it rules the house of valor, courage, change, your siblings, particularly the younger co-borns. It rules the house of efforts, which we see from the third house, your communication, learning. Third house is one of the Upachaya Bhavas, so we see growth from this house. Mercury also rules the sixth house. So out of the four Upachaya houses, Mercury rules these two houses at a natural sense. Therefore, Mercury plays a very important role in growth. For you, it also rules your debts, diseases, daily routines, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, any loans that you have, any debts that you have, and your focus on health and well-being in general. Mercury doesn't share a very cordial relationship with your Lagna Lord Mars. Therefore, it's a potent malefic in your case from a functional point of view. Mercury is also a graha that very easily gets influenced. But this time, Mercury is moving out of your 12th house and it is enter your ascendant, your Lagna. Mercury gains directional strength or is Digbali in the ascendant. Therefore, there are blessings of Lord Vishnu, Shri Hari, during this time for the next 16 days. Moreover, Mercury will also be in a shubh yoga because there is Venus making a transit in Pisces, there is Jupiter making a transit in Taurus till 14th of May. So most of the time for about 2 weeks, Mercury will be hemmed between two benefics. So it is under auspicious yoga, it is making a transit in your ascendant. The clear message for you is you need to have some quick results when it comes to communication. Change is going to come quick, is going to come fast to you. In case those people who are looking forward to changing their residence, making a move, this could happen in a very fast manner. You would be able to create or probably have a space in a quick succession. You have to have a renewed focus on your health and well-being because Mercury in this transit could bring some minor issues. These issues could be related to your stomach or you could be susceptible to certain viral infections. So you have to take care of your health. There are blessings of Lord Vishnu, so worship him, look up to him to have mostly positive effects of this transit. Mercury is the significator of management, communication, and it making a transit in your Lagna, in your ascendant. These are the areas where you have to spend your energies to learn and improve. Mercury is aspecting your 7th house by the 7th aspect of desire. Mercury desires communication in your relationship. It wants you to make some quick decisions when it comes to yourself and your partner. For those people who are looking forward to getting married or having a new relationship or trying to find someone, because Mercury is in Shubh Yoga and it's your 6th lord of daily routines. Of course, this time period could bring in some sort of a new relationship in case your Dasha Antardasha is favorable. It's a very short transit. This is the maximum opportunity for you to bring in some quick wins in your life when it comes to learning. Everything that you will do will be at a pace or you will be surrounded by a fast-paced environment and you have to cope up with this pace. This could be challenging as well. This could bring in a sense of stress, but this is what you have to be prepared with because your daily life is going to run at a very fast pace and may you cope up with it and have a blessed transit. Now let us talk about Taurus Ascendance. For Taurus Ascendance, Mercury is your 2nd lord and the 5th lord. It is a Yoga Karaka planet or one of the favorable planets for you. It plays a very important role in all wealth related matters because we see wealth from the 2nd house and also the 5th house. 2nd lord, it is your Dhanesh. It rules the consumption, what you eat, what you consume, your family, Kutumba Bhava. It talks about those people who you would like to protect. It is the house of protection. It is also the house of storage where you would like to store things. Mercury is also your 5th lord of future, children, unconditional love. We see also a sense of corruption from the 5th house because with power comes corruption. This is one of the Rajya Bhavas or the house that represents kingdom. Mercury holds a great importance, and it has been making a transit with your ascendant lord all the while, but in debility in your 11th house. Now Mercury is going to enter your 12th house. So in 12th house, it is moving in the sign of Aries. Your second lord, the lord of income, wealth, is making a move in the house of expenditure, losses, your higher self-consciousness, your sleep. So definitely your expenditure are going to be at a higher side. You're going to be impulsive in making certain decisions over the next 2 weeks. There is a shubh yoga on Mercury because Jupiter continues to make a transit in your ascendant. Venus continues to make a transit in the 11th house. This Mercury is also conjoined Sun, making a Buddhaditya yoga in your 12th house. But Sun is Maran Karak in the 12th house. But Mercury is getting support from benefics here. So it could help you avert some of the major expenditures or probably divert your attention there. But you have to take charge of your impulsive behavior. You could be impulsive in a number of things in your communication. You could have a sense of restlessness. So this is a time when you have to practice you have to have some spiritual discipline. Do yoga, mantras, meditation. This is how you will invoke your potential, and you need to think before you decide. So take a step back from the situation if you're not sure about something. Otherwise, this could create conflict in your relationship. You could end up making a purchase or buying something only to regret at a later point in time. So this time period, avoid any major purchase, take care of your finances. And I say that when expenses increase, so does income. Wait for Mercury to come into your ascendant to help you make great decisions when it comes to managing your finances. Mercury is aspecting your 6th house of daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. So your 6-12 axis is pretty active. You have to protect yourself in terms of focusing on your health and well-being. Yoga is the way, meditation, having a daily routine is the way. So devotion is really something that you need. Any mantra based remedies that you will use during this time will give you quick results, will give you fast results, because Mercury in your case rules mantras and it is in the house of devotion for you to give away. Donate as much as you can to the best of your capacity to help you make some good decisions. What kind of donations? That really depends on your ongoing dasha antardasha. You could donate things associated to Mars or Mangal, red pulses, red fruits. This is something which you could donate in order to channelize the energies of this Mercury, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Gemini Ascendance. For Gemini Ascendance, Mercury is an important planet because it's your Lagna Lord, the Lord of the Ascendant. And Mercury also rules the 4th house. So on one hand, it rules yourself, your body, your overall vitality, your immunity, who you are, your intelligence, your knowledge sits in the 1st house. Your decision-making capacity is in the 1st house. It is a very important lord for you. It holds a great importance, of course, and it's also the 4th lord of your comfort space, your happy space, things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content, your mother, home or the homeland, and of course your assets, your vehicles. This Mercury is now going to enter your 11th house. So being the Lagna Lord, whenever Mercury makes a transit, it will have an impact on you. All the while Mercury is going debilitated, so this would have had an impact on your decision making somehow, in spite of Mercury getting Neechabhanga, in spite of Mercury getting support from Venus. Now it is making a transit in the 11th house. Your Lagna Lord and the Lord of your happiness is making a transit in the house of gains, the Labh Bhav, the house of income, because we see Aya from this house, your friends, your wider social network, your ability to be recognized in the wider world. It's a very fast transit. Moreover, Mercury is in Shubh Yoga for 2 weeks. Only 2 days it is not in Shubh Yoga, because till 14th of May, Jupiter is in Taurus and Venus is in Pisces. So it is hemmed between two benefics, which is giving great support. Some of the best decisions that you can make for this year are going to be in this period of 16 days, wherein anything related to your income, if you were to start a secondary source, if you were to probably expand your work, look for new opportunities, this is where you can manifest the maximum, because there is a Dhan Yoga that is active, and this Dhan Yoga is by the virtue of your efforts. You also must spend time, invest your time in personal interest, in your hobbies, in meeting up with friends, in expanding your social circle. This way, you will be able to influence other people. You will be able to build your brand and then influence other people. Mercury is aspecting your 5th house by the 7th aspect of desire. Use mantras. A simple Vishnu mantra will be very good for you. That is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If you were to improve your workplace context, plan ahead of the time. Plan for what you were to do over the next few months, how you can have another source of income, how you can probably have some gains in your life. This is where you need to manifest. Mantra based remedies will be good for you because your 5-11 axis is pretty active. You can also make some fruitful travel plans during this time. It's not that you will go on journeys, but you can go on journeys in the next few weeks. But this is where you can spend time in terms of planning. Avoid extravagance and indulgence of any kinds because just your lung lord making a transit in the 11th house, it could make you susceptible towards meeting people or probably having a bad company or a negative company. So stay away from negativity and particularly pessimistic people. Those people who would say that maybe you can't do it, or those who would have a negative approach towards everything. So be it deaf, and of course don't hear them. Hear your instincts, listen to yourself, build your self-confidence and make some of the best decisions of your life during this time, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Cancer Ascendance. What's happening with Cancer Ascendance as Mercury makes this very fast transit in the sign of Aries. Finally, it is moving out of debilitation, and now you must welcome Mercury in your 10th house. 10th house of work, profession. This is your Karya Bhava, your actions in the society, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in this world. Mercury is the primary significator of the 10th house because it represents all kind of work related interactions, communication at work, management at work, the ability for you to manage yourself and of course others as well, right? So Mercury rules businesses of all kinds, trading of all kinds. So this is an excellent placement from a transit point of view. Moreover, Mercury is in shubh yoga or auspicious yoga because it is hemmed between two benefics, Venus and Jupiter, who are making a transit in the sign of Pisces and Taurus till 14th of May. So it is receiving some very benefic aspect, though Mercury will be, not alone most of the time, but for a couple of days it will be alone. However, it will be conjoined with Sun, but the degrees will have a significant difference when it comes to the first few days. This is also forming a Buddha Aditya yoga in your 10th house where Sun gains directional strength and there is Mercury. This is a time for you to learn something related to your work because Mercury rules your 3rd house of learning. It also rules your 12th house of higher self-consciousness, your approach towards self-discovery, self-awareness. Being the 3rd lord, it rules your valor, efforts. So anything that you learn related to your workplace is going to be very good, and you will be able to learn in a very fast manner because Mercury delivers results in a quick succession, in a very fast-paced manner. You should be prepared to work in very fast-paced scenarios or situations. Suddenly you will feel that the pace that is expected from you or the demand is quite high. The expectations with the people that you work with are going to be very high over the next 2 weeks. You might be given some challenging tasks, some challenging assignments with a very tight deadline. So be prepared for it. However, you will be able to cope up with it by the virtue of your communication, by the virtue of your efforts. Make time to invest in your learning during this time. This will help you in workplace context. Mercury is aspecting your 4th house by the 7th aspect of desire. Mercury wants you to declutter your home and also your workspace if you were to ensure that your efforts deliver certain results, right? You could have some unwarranted or unnecessary or irrelevant task as well, which is not related to your job. This could be an add-on responsibility, but this is your opportunity to shine, to deliver up to the expectations and be prepared to work in a very fast-paced environment and take care of your mental health, your mindfulness. Do some meditation, do some yoga in order to sail through and cope up with this fast changing environment, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Leo Ascendance and what's happening with Leo Ascendance in this very fast transit of Mercury in the sign of Aries. For you, Mercury is your 2nd lord and the 11th lord. Therefore, it plays a very important role in all financial matters. Second lord is your Dhanesh, who rules your accumulation, the wealth or money that you accumulate, what you consume, what you eat. Your family is seen from the second house. Your speech is seen from the second house. This is the house of consumption and also storage. Mercury is also the 11th lord of income, Aya, your friends, your wider social network. We also see enemies and bigger enemies from the 11th house because this is the 6th from the 6th house. So we see opposition from this house. Mercury is friendly to your Lagna lord Surya, and Surya is going to be exalted in your 9th house most of the time. Both Mercury and Sun are forming a beautiful Buddha Aditya yoga in your 9th house. This is one of the nicest house to have this yoga. Definitely there is higher learning on the cards. If you were to enroll yourself in higher education, or if you're thinking about it, this could be your time. Learn something over the next couple of weeks is a key message for you. If you were to increase your income, if you were to strengthen your personality, if you were to build your self-confidence and have a high sense of esteem, 9th house represents higher learning, bhagya, fortune. Fortune is going to be favorable for you. There are multiple wealth yogas in case you are expecting a rise in your income or an improvement in your wealth making capacity. You will take some decisions pertaining to long-term investments. You can also have a secondary or create a secondary source of income because bhagya or fortune is favorable for you. Any journeys that you plan or you undertake, this could be nice and beneficial for you. In case you were to probably think of settling outside of your home country, this time period you can put some plans in place because your 3-9 axis is pretty active, which indicates journeys. Mercury is aspecting your 3rd house by the 7th aspect of desire. It desires you to communicate with your family, keep in touch with your family and also your friends, because this time period there is some karma that is pertaining towards both of them. Mercury is under a great influence of Surya and under Shubh Yoga by the virtue of Venus and Jupiter being in adjacent houses. So both your Lagna Lord and Mercury are hemmed between benefics. This could be a perfect time for you to make good decisions related to your finances, related to your savings and long-term investment. And any decision pertaining to yourself. Any vital decisions that you take, you will probably have very limited time to make these decisions. So ensure that you have a fast-paced approach. Quick decision making is needed. Learn as much as you can. And also teach others. This is a very good remedy for you, particularly those people who work with you, who work for you. If you teach them, you will be able to channelize the energies of this Mercury in a nice manner, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Virgo Ascendance and what's happening with Virgo Ascendance as Mercury makes a transit in the sign of Aries. It is moving out of the sign of Pisces and now entering the sign of Aries. Mercury for you is an important planet because it's your Lagna Lord. It is the Lord of the Ascendant. It rules the 1st house, which represents yourself, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, your body. It is also the 10th Lord of work, profession, your actions in the society, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in the world. And anything to do with your decision making and your workplace decision, workplace politics, scenario, job, businesses, Mercury is most important for Virgo Ascendants. This Mercury is now going to be making a transit in your 8th house of transformation, deep secrets. It's a very deep house. It's got a lot of depth. We also see longevity from the 8th house because this represents your weaknesses and your ability to overcome your weaknesses. We see Nija dosha from the 8th house. Mercury doesn't have a dosha in the 8th house. I consider it to be one of the best planets to probably deliver good results, mostly in the 8th house, because it's also a natural benefic and it's a fast moving graha. So change comes easy to such people, but be prepared for suddenness in life, sudden changes related to your workplace. You could be given a difficult project, a challenging assignment, and that could come all of a sudden. Your role could have some change. This could be a momentary change, but it will put you in a slightly uncomfortable position initially. So you have to be prepared for this change and your ability to cope up with this change. How fast can you adapt yourself? So you have to be very adaptive during this time. Avoid any kind of impulsive decision. when it comes to anything in your life. Yourself, your relationship, and particularly your workplace. Your decisions need to be well thought over. Sun is conjoined Mercury in your 8th house. Definitely you can have some learning related to research. You can invest your time. You can learn about astrology, study Jyotish. This could be a very good time for you. Mercury thankfully is in Shubh Yoga by the virtue of Jupiter and Venus being in adjacent houses. It is hemmed between these benefics. So this will protect you from any adverse circumstances. Mercury is aspecting your 2nd house by the 7th aspect of desire. It wants you to develop some good eating habits. Bring in a change in your dietary requirement because Mercury is your luck lord. So it wants you to consume those kind of foods which are good for you. Consume green pistachios during this time. Any green leafy vegetables can also be good for you. Walk bare feet on green grass to strengthen your Mercury in case it is weak in your chart. Connect with the nature as much as you can. Practice mindfulness. See, your 2-8 axis is active. You have to take some decisions pertaining to your finance over the next couple of weeks, and at the same time you have to be change ready. You have to strengthen your Mercury using mantras. A Vishnu mantra could be good for you, which is a Ashtakshari mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. Use this mantra in order to avoid any difficulties and of course channelize the positive energies of this Mercury, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Libra Ascendance. What's happening with Libra Ascendance as Mercury enters Aries, and this is happening in your 7th house. 7th house of marriage, your partnership. It is the house of your spouse. We also call 7th house as the Daya Bhava. So it represents how giving you are, and of course how helpful you are towards the other people, because 1st house is yourself, 7th house is opposite. It represents all the people who are opposite to you. People, things and events. It doesn't necessarily mean marriage. Mercury is not very ideal in the 7th house because it gains directional strength in the 1st house. In 7th house somehow it is losing direction. So it needs a lot of direction. Sun and Mercury are conjoined in this house. Sun is also not very comfortable, but it is in an exalted state. Saving grace is that this Mercury is hemmed between Jupiter and Venus. It is under Shubh Yoga. So you could expect some good protection when it comes to your relationship. You will communicate. You will be very humble when it comes to dealing with people who are opposite to you, your relationship. Your communication will play a very important role. It's a very clear message for you because Mercury is a Yoga Karak planet for you. It rules your 9th house of higher learning, higher education, your father or father figure, your bhagya, fortune, long journeys. It also rules your 12th house of higher self-consciousness, your expenditure, how you spend, how you support others, how you give others, you help others, teach others during this time, sponsor a child's education, do some remedy to help people educate, to educate them. At workplace, you can teach others, you can coach others, you can mentor others, and you have to be very fast in anything that you do. Your relationship could go through some quick decision making which you have to be prepared for, and of course take your spouse, your partner into consideration. Take their due consultation before you decide on something. Mercury is aspecting your 1st house by the 7th aspect of desire. Mercury desires you to communicate, to curtail your expenditure. You could have heavy expenditure on your partner related to your spouse, or probably together you incur some heavy expenditure over the next couple of weeks. This is where you have to be mindful of. Invest in dharma, spend on dharma. This is where you have to spend your energies and also your finances, which could be quite good for you. And Mercury wants you to be very open towards communication and a very fast paced approach as well. This is an opportunity for you if you have a business to bring some quick wins in your business, some quick turnarounds that you could do over the course of next couple of weeks. And there is definitely relationship karma. Your partner or spouse can go out of the way to help you, to protect you. Make sure that you stick around during this time, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Scorpio Ascendance. What's happening with Scorpio Ascendance as Mercury enters Aries? And it's a very fast paced transit. It's only going to last about 16 days. From 7th of May till 23rd of May, Mercury is going to be in Aries. So finally it is moving out of its debility in the sign of Pisces and now entering Aries. Okay. For you, Mercury is a potent malefic. Firstly, it doesn't share a very good relationship with your Lagna lord Mars. Secondly, it rules not so good houses, the 8th house and the 11th house. The 8th lord that represents suddenness in life, sudden changes, sudden ups and downs. It's a very secretive, it's a very mysterious house. It also rules longevity for you. So all the sudden transformation is ruled by Mercury. Mercury also rules the 11th house. So on one hand, it rules your gains, your material comforts, your income, and it also represents your bigger enemies, bigger obstacle in life. Okay, those people who are opposite to you. Because this is 6th from the 6th house. 6th house is enemies, 11th house is even bigger enemies. This Mercury is making a transit in the 6th house of daily routine, deaths, diseases, your health and well-being. We also see intelligence and growth from the 6th house. Mercury does well in this house because it is the natural 6th lord and it gets exalted in the sign of Virgo, which is the natural 6th sign. So from that aspect, it does well. It is also giving you a Viparita yoga. This is the 8th lord making a transit in the 6th house. Circumstances, situation could go adverse. Eventually, you will rise. One thing is quite certain, that you have to face some opposition during this time. So you could have some conflicting situation with your friends, with people at workplace. So make sure that you understand someone and spend some time before you trust, before you count on someone, because you could be a little bit susceptible. The period is sensitive for you to have some trust related karma. So you would trust on people and they will break your trust. This is a time when you have to be a little bit careful in terms of dealing with other people who you work with and also your friends. So you could also be involved in conflict of other people, trying to resolve the conflict, and this could cause some sort of stress for you. Your health and vitality will be back on track. Mercury is hemmed between Venus and Jupiter. There are two benefics in the adjacent houses, right? And this also condition, when Mercury, Venus, Jupiter are making a transit in these houses, it is very favorable from a financial standpoint. So you could probably repay some of your debts over the next few weeks. Okay, you will have a renewed focus on your health and well-being. So your health is going to improve, your vitality is going to improve. What you do on a day-to-day basis is going to improve. If you had some digestive issues, it is going to improve now. Mercury is aspecting your 12th house by the 7th aspect of desire. It wants you to bring some quick changes in your lifestyle. Fix your sleep. This is very important for you. If you do that and have 8 hours of sleep, you will have a lot of energy all through the day, which will be much needed during this time, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Sagittarius Ascendance and what's happening with Sagittarius Ascendance. So for you, Mercury is your 7th lord and the 10th lord. On 7th of May, it is moving in Aries and it is going to be there till 23rd of May, so about 16 days, right? It's a fast transit of Mercury, okay? Now here, Mercury is your 7th lord of marriage, relationship, your partnership, what you do, in terms of those people who are opposite to you, how you deal with your outer world of people, things and events. Mercury also rules your 10th house of work, profession, your actions in society, your business, the job that you have. Mercury plays two roles here. So it rules two kendras, so it does give it greater importance, but it is also the badak for you, a lot of obstacles. So it brings in a sense of obstacles in your life. Mercury is making a transit in the 5th house in the sign of Aries. Mercury does well in the 5th house, so it wants to probably bring a lot of fast-paced changes in your life. 5th house represents your future. Mantras are seen from the 5th house. Your children are seen from the 5th house. Unconditional love. It is the Rajya Bhava. It is the again a very important house when it comes to status. Mercury is conjoined Sun and they are forming a beautiful Buddha-Aditya yoga, and both of them are also in a shubh yoga or auspicious yoga because there is Venus and Jupiter in the adjacent houses. So both Sun and Mercury are hemmed between these benefics. You should learn something related to your future that could give you a promotion, that could give you success. Anything that you learn now in the next couple of weeks is going to be directly associated to you getting some sort of progression at your work. Worship Lord Ganesha or keep a Ganpati yantra in your place of worship and worship it every day. This could be a nice time for you to do that because firstly, Lord Ganpati likes Mercury, okay? Mercury rules the Chaturthi Tithi, which is very closely associated to Lord Ganesha because he was born in this Tithi. And you have to understand that if you were to succeed and if you were to minimize any obstacles, you have to look up to him. So any mantra sadhana that you start related to Ganpati will be very good for you. Mercury is aspecting your 11th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So Mercury is supporting gains related to your partner. So your partner can have some gains over the next few weeks, some sort of rise in income or rise in status. From a financial point of view, this could be quite favorable for you because your 5th and 11th axis is quite active. Mercury is giving you a Dhan Yoga. If you have some inheritance related decision or paperwork, that can also move forward. That can also progress during this time. If it is something related to your business, your partner, that can also fructify during this time. Workplace gains could be nice for you, but you will have to work a little bit hard. You will have to make some quick decisions, bring in some quick changes at your workplace. Focus on bringing and having quick wins, something that you could deliver in a fast-paced manner over the next few days that could bring in some fruitful results, and I wish you the very best. Let us talk about Capricorn Ascendance. What's happening with Capricorn Ascendance as Mercury enters Aries? And this is happening between 7th of May till 23rd of May. It's a very fast, quick transit of Mercury. For you, Mercury is a Karak Graha because it's your Bhagyesha. It rules the 9th house of Bhagya, fortune, your higher spiritual education. Long journeys are seen from the 9th house. We also see father or father figure from the 9th house. This house also represents your fortune, which is very important in your life. Any teachings that you deliver, it represents your dharma. So it's a very important house for you, your lineage. Mercury also rules the 6th house of daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Deaths, diseases, your focus on health and well-being. This Mercury is making a transit in the 4th house of your comfort, your happy space, your safe space, Sukh Bhav, your mother, homeland, your home. Mercury is said to be Maran Karak in the 4th house, or it is more of a death-like position where it loses its signification. So you'll have to spend a lot of energies communicating with people over the next couple of weeks. You will feel that it is very taxing for you. It is very stressful for you to communicate. Mercury is conjoined with Sun in your 4th house. There is some protection. There is very good protection in your home at your comfort, for your comfort, because it is hemmed between two benefics, Jupiter and Venus. So you have to be thankful for it because your home is getting protection. Over the next few days, it's an excellent time for you to declutter. See, because Mercury rules daily routines for you. Health, well-being. It's making a transit in the 4th house. So declutter your home. Clean it up by yourself. This will bring in some sort of positivities. Get some plants, green plants, indoors as well as outdoors for your home, and nurture them, water them every day as you can take care of it. Mercury is aspecting your 10th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So it wants to bring in quick communication at your workplace. You'll have to cope up with the pace of others. You can also declutter your workspace. It could be very good for you. But you have to manage your pace to work towards the expectations of other people. You could have some new assignment, new project that could be challenging for you, but there will be a lot of learning. You have to step out of your comfort zone now. This is the time for you and calling for you, which demands you to step out of your comfort zone and time to prove yourself, prove your mettle, so that the next transit you can have more fruitful results of Mercury, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Aquarius Ascendance. For Aquarius Ascendance, Mercury is now moving in the sign of Aries, and this is happening in your 3rd house of communication, valor, courage. We see co-bonds, particularly younger siblings from the 3rd house. This house represents change. It's a very fast-paced transit of Mercury, which is only going to last about 16 days. So Mercury making a transit in the 3rd house, change is going to come to you in a fast-paced manner. Communication is going to come to you in a fast-paced manner. You will have very limited time to make some important decisions pertaining to your future and pertaining to your transformation, because Mercury rules 2 houses for you. 5th house of future, your children, These could also be decisions and changes related to your children, and you will have very limited time to decide whether you do go for option A or option B and what is in the best interest for your future. This house also represents unconditional love. Mercury also rules the 8th house of transformation, changes that are of sudden in nature, longevity, deep secrets. Research is also seen from the 8th house, places that are across the sea, far off places, distant places, different languages are also seen from the 8th house. Third house represents valor. Mercury is the natural ruler of the third house. It's a comfortable position for Mercury. But Mercury will give you a high sense of desire in this house. And this is what you need to channelize over the next couple of weeks. Mercury is conjoined Sun. They are forming a Buddhaditya Yoga in your third house of learning, third house of communication. So learn something on how you can improve your communication so that any effort that you put, you should get results for your future. This Mercury and Sun are also hemmed between two benefics, Venus and Jupiter, who are making a transit in the adjacent houses of Mercury. So it is getting good protection. So any efforts that you put over the next couple of weeks, you will get results of those efforts. It might take some time, but your efforts are being protected. Mercury is aspecting your 9th house by the 7th aspect of desire. Mercury desires you to protect your dharma. Mercury rules mantras for you. So any mantras that you would use, because it's making a connection to your 9th house. So particularly if you use a Vishnu mantra or even a Shiva mantra, it could be absolutely good for you. You can use a simple Panchakshari, that is Namah Shivaya, and look up to him. He will protect you. You can go on journeys, spiritual trips or retreat. This could be quite rejuvenating for you. 3-9 axis represents starting something new. Mercury is your 5th lord, lord of the future. So definitely you can start something which is associated to your near future. At least you can plan during this time. Journal. That is also a very good remedy for you because Mercury represents communication of all kind, which includes written communication as well. So pen down your goals and those things that you wish to achieve. You will probably multitask and be busy with a number of things. And this could make you a bit restless as well. So take it easy and try to go slow, one step at a time. And I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Pisces Ascendance. For Pisces Ascendance, Mercury is your 4th lord and it is the 7th lord. It has two roles to play. On one hand, it rules two Kendra houses. One house is the house of safe space, your comfort space, your happy space, your mother, your homeland. That is the 4th house. Those things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content. Mercury is also your 7th lord of Daya, your ability to help others. Also Jaya, which represents peace and also war. This house represents your spouse, your business partnership, those people who are opposite to you. Mercury is making a transit in the 2nd house. Mercury also is the lord of obstacles or Bhadakesh for Pisces Ascendance, being the 7th lord. It making a transit in the 2nd house. Firstly, this could be a good time period for your partner in terms of having a gain in their wealth, in their businesses. So there could be certain gains that you could expect which is pertaining to your partner. If you have a business, you could expect some flow of funds, some finances that would come your way. Mercury does well in the 2nd house. It is also conjoined Surya. So you got a mixture of energies. You got a mixture of fiery as well as earth, communication related energies. So there is a potential of leadership and management in your communication. So you will communicate with authority, but at the same time, you could develop a sense of ego. This is something which you have to channelize. Stay humble, practice humility, respect other people. You could have mixed views here, right? Because at times you could sound to be authoritative to the other person, and this is a situation that you must avoid. Your wealth finances are being protected because your 2nd house is hemmed between two benefics. There is Venus transiting in your ascendant and Jupiter is making a transit in your 3rd house till about 14th of May. So there is good protection in terms of your finances, your savings, your investment. You could make some changes in your home, at your house. This is pertaining to family matters. So any renovation work that you could do, you would spend more energies there. It could be good for you. This Mercury is aspecting your 8th house by the 7th aspect of desire. Mercury desires quick change, quick transformation. Be prepared for suddenness in your daily life. There's definitely some relationship karma, so make sure that you keep the communication channel very consistent when it comes to your relationship. That you listen to your partner and of course you're there for them. So have a mutual understanding and a very open, honest communication. This is the need of the hour. Be prepared to deal and cope up with sudden changes. If you were to probably do some research related to your work, related to your business, this could be a good time for you. You could spend time and energies in learning astrology, Jyotish, those subjects that involve a lot of research, and this could be quite beneficial for you. Use mantras. Remedy for you is Jupiter and also Mars. So any mantra related to Mars or Jupiter could be quite good for you, and I wish you the very best. So friends, this was yet another unique video about the fast-paced transit of Mercury in the sign of Aries. Finally, it is moving out of debility. I hope and believe Mercury's transit in Aries brings in a renewed focus on our communication and our management style. Thank you very much. God bless you all.